Welcome back to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast, the recap of Stage 18 of the Tour de France from Voiron to Ossier-Merlet, 185 kilometers. This episode is brought to you by Core, a wearable sensor you'll see on half the riders or more in the peloton today. We have a medium mountain. I'm not going to call this, it's not really a mountain break stage. It's got a category 1 though at the start, a soft one, 11.6 Ks, 5.5%, and then after about 20 Ks, then a plateau on top, a descent, another valley, and then another 10K 5% climb. So no steep climbs today, no rampas. It's for everybody. Anyone can win. A Schmidt, a Jorgensen, a Simmons if he's allowed, but also the Carapaz and VPP small boys of this world. So something for everybody. The finish is 7K, 6.7%. The first 3Ks are not hard, but then it's like 7% for 4Ks, and then the last 250 meters are flat. It is, yesterday we saw that Adam Yates he has stomach issues. They said he was vomiting after the TT, couldn't take any food in, and then he was empty in the race. But today he was also, there's problems within the UAE camp right now, Benji. It's fair to say.
I think that's fair to say. I think Tim Wellens before the stage might have said something similar, that he did spin it in the way that half of the team is still in good form, but that he himself also had some, I don't know if it was coughing or something. I don't know if it also was stomach issues, but Wellens had some struggles today. McNulty had some struggles in the race today. I'll spoil it before we even get into the race. Out. McNulty even DNFs the race to begin with. So the team of UAE is on the back foot when it comes to the team strength. That doesn't mean Tadej Pogačar. Yes, McNulty got hit by a car. That is very fair. It's not like he is suddenly without form. It was, I think, after the recon on his way back to the start on the TT day. That's when he was hit by a road rage driver, if I recall correctly. So pretty devastating to hear that. Let's hope stuff like that doesn't happen again. But before we jump into the stage, Patrick, I want to talk about points in KOM. Points classification before the stage starts. First rider is Mes Pedersen, 452 points, leading by 7 points only on Jasper Philipsen. KOM, we have Tadej Pogačar with 24 points, yes, on Valentin Paris and 30 points on Carapaz before today's stage starts, but still to play for in the last couple of stages in this race. Today's not the biggest day, but there's enough in break formation, right, that KOM people might be intrigued about it, no?
I think it's enough, especially with such a soft Cat 1. I mean, that's 10 points right there. I thought EF were going to try shut the break down. Because what if Poggy goes crazy on those later stages? VPP and Carapaz need to form an alliance, and they kind of have, where they're like, Carapaz won't sprint him, but they're like, we have to put the max points in play for the both of us, because Poggy's going to take some in the back end.
And ironically, I think that the strategy that Quickstep did on the first climb felt a lot like what you just said EF was maybe going to do. Because I swear there was a Quickstep rider pacing in the peloton trying to control the gap towards the group ahead, where EF had opted for the strategy of sending two riders up the road, not including Carapaz. And then Carapaz maybe could make a move in the last kilometer to that KOM point. It's Valentin Paris that did that move in the end. And to be honest, break formation kept close until that KOM point, partially because of that Quickstep rider. And we had Valentin Paris trying to bridge towards the 7-second break with, I think, Healy and some other EF rider. Paris and Carapaz sprint for it. Paris does Carapaz for the 17th time in this race. And from this point onwards, every KOM point that these two were in the front group, they end up having Valentin Paris do a sprint, Carapaz sprinting a little bit, and then deciding, I can't beat him anyway, so I'll just roll over the line in his wheels. So Valentin Paris takes quite a bit of KOM points on the first couple of climbs, I would say, in this race. We'll discuss whether they play a role on the final climb, but in terms of break formation, it kind of kicked off just after this KOM point, right?
Yeah, and Pedersen did have his climbing legs, so he survives the first KOM point. That was the key one. And it forms like, I don't know if it's on the, it was over the top of the KOM point. It's like a false flat uphill. So if you're an engine and you've survived the actual climb, you then have a false flat uphill, and that's why we get engines in the breakaway. We get Thomas the Tank engines, Aronsman, Jorgensen, Pedersen, Engelhardt, who's been very good. Johannesson, he's not an engine, but he's good. Castrillo and Nicolas Brouillard sniffed out the breakaway once again for Total Energy. So Good group, but it's missing two people. Well, a team and one person. It's missing Valentin Paripantra. But I think Quickstep were like, they weren't desperate to get in. They were accepting if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. EF were not in. And that was the big fly in the ointment for this breakaway because Pedersen was happy. The break wasn't attacking him. Aronsman's happy. He's in. And then, everyone was kind of happy with the break, except maybe Jayco. And so EF just go full gas. They're attacking across. They're chasing. Carapaz attacks. And eventually they get a chase group across, like in the middle. Healy, Garcia Pierna, and Vacek, and maybe some other guys. Don't know.
Bernal and Gregoire.
Bernal wasn't there yet. Gregoire attacked on the descent, and he got across himself to Group 1 because the motorbike literally just went like it was crazy, the moto pacing on that descent. Healy's then joined by another move. Carapaz is launched, and so we have Vavaka, VPP, Healy, Carapaz. They pull full gas. We get to the second climb. They drop the domestiques, and VPP and Carapaz have to get across. Mauro Schmidt's in the wheel, by the way. Mauro Schmidt. So 2 of the top 3 of this stage finish come across in this move late. Bernal gets across, as Benji said, as well. We don't know why. No one still knows why. It certainly wasn't help Aronsman later. And it looked like this was the trickiest moment in the race for Carapaz, I think. He had to jump a lot on the flat. The group, it's... by the way, UAE, no interest, right? Benji is very... They weren't even trying to control Trek. They've given up Teams GC, I think.
Well, I think they've been forced to give it up. Like, actually, if they have a fully top-fit team here, then UAE would be definitely going for the stage win. That's my expectation if they're fully fit, etc. We said yesterday, with multiple sick people in their team, or at least one in Adam Yates and Wellens and Vermeers, not necessarily looking like they're up for a major adventure either. It wasn't looking too good. After that, the McNulty car crash, that resulted in us thinking the break was going to ride away with it today. We didn't see Red Bull necessarily pacing early in the stage either for a Remco potential stage win. So it was the break where I was going to win it. The gap started expanding to like 8 minutes. But there was a Group 3 with, I think, Simmons in it.
Yeah,
and
I felt bad.
This was intriguing because I swear Simmons was on like 30 seconds of the front of the race at a certain point on maybe the Montenar climb, the second CAD climb. I'm not completely sure. The second categorized climb, not the second CAD climb.
Yeah. It was really tough.
Tell me.
Well, Vacek gets across. I think Aronsman and Jorgensen, they couldn't fuga because there was the pressure of Vacek coming across and Pedersen would chase them for the sprint points. And so there wasn't a possibility to fuga away from Carapaz, and they couldn't go quicker because they dropped Pedersen. So Carapaz was he left the EF guys were a minute behind him. And yeah, Vacek gets across. Aronsman has Bernal now as a teammate. Why did Trek keep Simmons behind? Like, no, even at the intermediate sprint, I know it's better to be careful, like never assume anything, but there was no Alpecin there. No one was going to roll him for the sprint.
Fully agree. No one was in danger of beating Philipsen at the intermediate sprint. I think if Simmons made it to the front, then Simmons would have been a competitor on the final climb going for the stage win. Does that mean he could win? Perhaps. Against the winner, maybe not, because he was pretty strong at the end of the day. But what I saw, Patrick, first of all, Pedersen does take the IS. He takes 25 points, so that is very much in favor, with now 32 points on Philipsen in the IS classification. But I saw a couple of people suffering in that group, Patrick, and it's been a pretty hot first week of the Tour de France, and I swear I've heard of some kind of instrument that riders use to kind of do a heat acclimation training towards races like this.
I would argue that heat training at the moment is more used, or more, maybe not more important, definitely more accessible, especially to the average person, than altitude. Like, heat is a non-negotiable, especially when you see the temperatures we've had in Europe. They're resurfacing the road next to me, so I've got the room shut up, and I'm also sweating, so I'd like to know what my core body temperature is at the moment. But yeah, if you look at closely at the rider's heart rate monitor straps, you'll also, if you've been looking, you'll see on their backs, through their skin suits, a small device that doesn't look like a heart rate monitor, and that's the core body temperature sensor. Core is a wearable sensor that continuously tracks your body temperature while you train and race. It helps you understand how your body responds to heat, how rising temperature affects your performance. It lets you do heat training effectively and safely, and it gives riders a much clearer picture of when heat is becoming a limiting factor. So virtually every team in the World Tour now trains and races using heat training and with the core body temperature sensor. And studies have shown just with 10 days of structured heat training, that can improve your VO2 max and power output by around 8%. So those adaptations also carry across to cooler conditions. It doesn't just make you adapted to racing in the heat. That's why UAE Team Emirates XRG has integrated Core into its daily performance program. Their head of performance says Core allows them to individualize heat training for every rider to optimize cooling and hydration strategies. Actually, you always see Poggy's bed whenever they put up that graphic. It's like 7 degrees cooler than Pollitt's. So it shows everyone's different. I run hot. I run super hot. So that's how I like to go. Like I'm always.
I've already tested it, but I'm not sure my podcast performance has shown an increase in performance as a consequence.
I think you have.
I think it mostly works on the bike. And yesterday on the bike, wasn't flying, but I definitely was better than the week before. So maybe it's working for me already.
So it comes with a little sensor like this. If you can see it on the camera now, and it goes on your heart rate strap. To celebrate the Tour de France, Core is offering our listeners an exclusive 10% discount. Just head to corebodytemp.com and use the code LRCP10Core. That's all caps LRCP10Core at corebodytemp.com. If you want to know the proof in the pudding, you see, go and check my intermediate splits. We want to talk about intermediate Remco's T2. Go check my last aid station UTMB 50K. I was passing people. Passing them in the heat. Flying. Okay. Pedersen gets the intermediate sprint. He gets Vacek to do a full lead out. Well, against who? But again, after yesterday, they're obviously they're better to be safe than sorry, but for sure they could have let Simmons in. It would have been no problem. The group it's got 2 Jaycos, 2 Ineoses, 2 Movistars. I feel bad for Castrillo and RGP. They've made it every break. And we all know what's going to happen. What did you think was going to happen as soon as Trek ceded control at the IS?
Attacca. Fuga. Someone will try and attack because the group is getting a little bit big, and that resulted in a group getting away with the likes of Raul Garcia Pierna, Jorgensen, Engelhardt, Schmidt, so 2 Jayco riders, Thomas Holland Johannesson. Those other riders ahead together with Carapaz and VPP, who also make it into that segment. So that is a 7-man breakaway. Yes, indeed, is the final group that ends up fighting for the stage when Patrick. The rest kind of blow backwards. And from this point onwards, I think with about 30 kilometers to go, we also see in the peloton that the team of Total Energy is starting to pace, and Pinarello for Pitcock's GC and Jegas GC against Carapaz in the breakaway, who's luring him. No, that's not a word. Who's on the ropes is also not the word I'm looking for. Slowly but surely attacking the top 10.
Yeah, he's threatening their top 10 positions. He had 8 minutes. UAE were letting it out. Wellens was also 16 Ks behind the peloton on his own after McNulty abandoned. So I think some stomach issues for a lot of those riders. And Ineos miss it. There was an interview with Stannard during the race. Blythe caught him, which not at the best time, and Stannard was fuming, understandably. When Visma missed the Pedersen move yesterday, when you have multiple riders in the group, it's never nice to miss the Fuga. You know who never misses a Fuga?
People who use Core, or I'm already past the ad segment of this podcast?
It's a free ad for my boy.
Oh.
Raul Garcia Pierna.
You know who also didn't miss a Fuga?
Oh, my mouse is...
It's that Berwick, because he's never made it into the decisive breakaway.
Well, the break's going tomorrow, so that suits him. I gotta charge my mouse.
Okay, let's talk about something here. So last 25 kilometers in that group, we see Matteo Jorgensen starting to do some fuga de la fuga, so attacks out of the breakaway. So a break out of a break out of a break. We're getting into Inception territory right now, but that's a different podcast. We have Jorgensen attacking first time with 25 kilometers to go with, I think, Raúl Garcia Pierna on his wheel, but I'm not completely sure if that was him. They get caught by Carapaz, who starts spacing because they actually had a gap because Jorgensen smartly attacked on the left side of a roundabout. In doing so, immediately getting separation. They did get closed down pretty quickly, and then they collaborate once again a little bit, this group, until we get to 12 kilometers to go. That's where we once again see Jorgensen attack and Carapaz close it. That attack didn't really have the separation you were looking for either, and then it's basically the start of the Orsières-Merlet climb, which this climb is not that severe. Like, we've come to this climb before. Is this the climb where Guillaume Martin sprinted to 4th in Cofidis colors? 3rd.
Podium, mate.
Mate,
Go look
the
at
memories.
Go look at the top 10 of that stage. Oh.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Let me guess.
2020?
Let me do the top 10.
Wait, I'm not there yet. 2020, right?
Yeah, 2020 stage 6.
4.
Go
ahead.
Primoz
Top 10.
Roglic, Tadej Pogačar, Guillaume Martin, Egan Bernal.
He's 7th?
Buchmann's 10th.
No, he's not in the top 10.
Danny Martinez.
No. You've got 2 other Colombians, though.
Sergio Higuita.
No.
Quintana.
Come on.
Quintana.
Yes, and?
Uran.
No. Come on. One more Colombian rider.
I've done Martinez, Bernal, Higuita.
Vuelta car is my hint.
Oh, Miguel Angel Lopez.
Yes.
Holy.
You're missing 2 French riders.
Warren Barguil.
No? Come on, it's 2020.
Pinot Gaudu.
Pinot and Alaphilippe. I'll help you there.
Alaphilippe, that's nice.
You're missing 1 Brit and
Geraint Thomas.
1 Spanish/Basque rider, depending on who you ask.
Jonas Aguirre.
No. Adam Yates and Mikel Landa.
Landa. I was not that close. I just
For
remember
top 10, you were like super hyped to do this top 10. You missed out on all of them.
I wasn't close. I did know Guillaume Martin was 3rd, though, so... Listen, I got no mouse. I'm doing this hands-free. I'm also going to do the top 10 from the stage today
That's the whole
hands-free.
point.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah. I don't know why Johannesson made an effort to just mark Jorgensen out of the race and then drop on the final climb. Probably Schmidt and him should have attacked. Because, let's be honest, what did you think was going to happen, Benji? I was very, very sure that if you go to the final of this climb, the base of it with El Hagua de Tulcan, it doesn't matter if he's worked before in third week of a Tour de France, he doesn't lose. Like, the only times he loses the break stages is when Pogačar catches him from behind in 24. He won in 24 Devlouis, and then he was going to win Cuyol.
I look at this and I would say that Carapaz was definitely the favorite going into the final climb. I can excuse Johannesson a little bit because he's also a pretty fucking great climber on his day. He was probably overconfident in the 3rd week though. So I'm also not sure if he attacks before the climb he goes anywhere to begin with. I'm more like, I do believe that there's a world in which Mauro Schmidt wins this by anticipating this climb. Because the level he had on the climb was really good.
The play was Schmidt and Jorgensen, 2 70-kilo guys, get away from Carapaz. If they fuga from the fuga de la fuga,
yeah,
then Carapaz and VPP have a big problem on the flat. But it didn't happen.
And I think in that hypothetical scenario, Schmidt is the winner of the 2.
Because he doesn't need to do anything.
He's also in such good form, by the way.
He's so fast, like he's in the shape of his life. So, well, maybe he was in a Tour of Oman, Jabal Hat. We all remember Jabal Hat finish. If you can win on the Jabal Hat, on the Eastern Mountain, then it's very hard to drop Mauro Schmidt on Orsières-Merlet. Anyway.
Of course, Pinarello saw the Jabal Hat finish and they thought, like, let's drop 2 mil on this guy.
You joke, but that is legit probably what happened, yeah. Yes, that is what happened.
I think it might have been the Hill Classics too.
No, way before. For sure.
Okay.
Like... What? Dude, Tour, you have to be good to it. You know who else won Tour of Oman and won on Green Mountain?
Christian Scaroni won Tour of Oman.
Jorgensen. So this whole climb, right? Everything comes back to Tour of Oman. Everything comes back to it, right? The thread from Tour of Oman is through everything.
you've got a bunch of people on the internet that every time they see something, they're like, how can I make this about me? And then there's Patrick, who every time he sees something in the sport of cycling, he says, how can I make this about either the Muscat Classic or the Tour of Oman?
Yeah, well, I can't not, because indeed Carapaz, it's very cat and mouse on the climb. Schmidt's waiting. He wants to sprint. VPP's kind of cooked. He marks the first Carapaz attack. Jorgensen drops, but then comes back, and then Carapaz goes a second time, and he's gone. El Hagua de Tulcan. He needed the conditions to be a little bit cooler. He gets in the break, and he basically devours his prey. He goes clear. 15 seconds, 20 seconds. It goes to 45 seconds. Carapaz wins easily. They needed to either not let him in the break, but that was probably never happening in the middle of the early or late break formation, or they had to get away from him on the flat. It didn't happen. He wins. Jorgensen and Schmidt try to work behind him. VPP and Johannesson drop, and the double stage winners of Jabal Hutt come second and third on Orsier Millet, and fourth VPP, fifth Johannesson on 1 minute 56. Then Garcia Pierna, and I think Castrillo managed to hold on. I'm trying to do the top 10 off the top of my head, by the way.
Well, you should have told me, because I'm not even looking at the page. Castrillo got 7th.
Yeah, I'm on fire. And 8th, Lenny Martinez, or there was other guys from the break?
Correct.
8th, Lenny. 9th, Pidcock. 10th, Remco.
Wrong. Remco 9th, Pidcock 10th. You loser.
All right.
Let's talk Red Bull.
Yeah, let's talk Red Bull Decathlon GC. If you read Sun Tzu's Art of War, if you pick it up, go to it. If you open up to page 17, there's a proverb in it, right? Look it up, open at page 17. It says, when thou is 20 seconds behind the podium in GC and the competitor has diarrhea, thou shalt attack him at every opportunity.
I was literally looking at page 17. Like, there's no way this is here. And he started talking about 20 seconds. I was like, you had me in the first half.
I got him. But it is in there if you look hard enough, basically. When your opponent has diarrhea or gastro, you should probably...
Yeah, but Patrick, I've got a bit of a conspiracy theory. So, Tadej Pogačar in the yellow jersey.
Yeah.
He's been wearing either a full yellow kit or World Champs jersey with white shorts, etc. throughout this entire race. Tell me, why is he wearing black shorts on exactly the day where half his team have diarrhea?
Are you serious?
Patrick?
You're not capping. Let me see.
I'm dead serious.
I'm unplugging my mouse.
Black shorts on today.
You're making it up.
I'm not making this up. It's pure conspiracy theory, but it's pure overanalysis.
Oh my god. And Del Toro?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Luke says Santini has done this for the first time ever, but VVP also rode with it.
Is it a skin suit still? Like maybe he didn't want to wear the skin suit today?
Luke says yes.
So it's still a skin suit, so he's not changed type of... Jonas Vingegaard was going to win this Tour de France.
He got dropped. Okay.
Anyway.
Theory to the side.
That is curious, huh? And I'm doing that. And why would he do that?
Is that in Sun Tzu's book? If the enemy wears black shorts,
for sure.
When his whole team
if you
is sick?
see any change of behavior in your opponent, you have to analyze it and think, why are they doing that? Like, anyway, Pogačar doesn't matter. Even if he loses 10%, he's still not going to get dropped. Doesn't matter. But there is, all jokes aside, let's get serious. There's something up with UAE. It's not just me like making stuff up. There's guys 16 Ks behind the peloton. There's guys abandoning. Adam Yates is crook. If you're Decathlon, what do you have to lose by putting some gas on the final climb with Riccatello and Prudhomme if Sykes feels all right? And I know why they didn't. I think it's less risky to be aggressive on soft mountain stages than to be aggressive on real high mountain stages. On the real high mountain stages, you have to be conservative early to risk not blowing up if you don't know your limits. But if you squeeze today, it doesn't really change anything. And the reason they've done it is the same reason in stage 1 of Dauphiné they didn't do anything. It's because we have 2 mountain days coming up and they want to save their bullets.
And to be honest, with 2 Alpe d'Huez finishes and stage 20 being a massacre, reality is Del Toro's been great on like his best stages in the Tour de France, but he's also had inconsistent days. That's maybe why you say maybe you should push it today to see whether that's an inconsistent day. That said, with about 4 kilometers to go on the climb, Del Toro was smiling, happy, playing with a spectator. So it didn't look like he was fucked on this climb to me.
Well, we won't know. You got to find out.
That said, if we look at Red Bull's behavior on the climb, they started pacing before the climb and then paced the entire climb and hard paced quite a bit exactly. Now, I think it's completely fine that if you pace the entire climb and don't attack, that Remco then shouldn't sprint. Because I don't believe that sprint's going to go anywhere.
I agree.
I see some value in doing an attack. But on the other hand, I think the reality is that Remco and Red Bull are thinking in the box of, let's just keep this climb controlled, make sure nobody can attack Remco. I think they're thinking the opposite way. And let's defend second place as if we're defending first place. I really think that Remco is not even considering or the team is not even considering the reality right now yet of, is Pogačar beatable? Because they probably don't consider Pogačar beatable.
No, and that's fair enough. Remco's way better than probably we all could have expected. I mean, he's really happy with his shape and he's happy with second. I don't think Remco and Bora need to do anything. I mean, also the only reason you squeeze today, even if you say, is to see something for the next stages. So the downside to me is low of you pacing. UAE are also isolated, so Poggy can't wait for Del Toro. I'm more talking about decathlon now.
Okay.
If you see today, by just applying the pressure properly, that Del Toro is not following easily, that gives you a lot to work with psychologically for the next 2 days, and you can build a plan around that. That's why I think it was worth doing for decathlon. Personally, for Bora and Remco, it's totally fine. I mean, yeah, UAE had no domestiques left, so they just took control of the race and paced. Did Hindley pace harder than he needed to? Yeah, maybe. Did it matter? No.
And I think my first reaction after the stage was like, Remco should have maybe attacked after his team paced the entire climb. But on the other hand, if we're talking about squeezing to see whether an opponent is weak, then the first step is have your team pace and not invest yourself and see whether that does anything. Then you can always double down and do the attack yourself and see whether that does anything. But maybe they deemed that too much on a stage like this where there wouldn't be that much benefit. But I agree with you, though, that it could have a mental big benefit if something is seen. But I think at the end of the day,
if someone's as sick as Yates, they drop from Hindley's pacing. Yeah.
I think everybody's waiting for tomorrow and the day after.
Yeah. Maybe anyway, it is what it is. I think decathlon, they got to go after Del Toro, I'm sorry. And I think these climbs suit. Yeah, but these climbs suit Sykes ass so well. He's so good on these 17
as well.
Yeah, but Sykes ass on the longer climbs, he's not been. I'm just like 5 to 10 minutes. Sykes ass is, I think, the best part of his curve right now. Anyway, they all come in together pretty much. GC wise, Carapaz does move into the top 10, 3 minutes 18 ahead of Wazard, so he takes maximum possible KOM points. He takes the stage and he moves into the GC top 10. He'll be happy with that. No other changes in the 9 ahead of him. Piganzoli fell out of GC today. Van Wilder also got dropped. And I think the top 10, frankly, this top 10 is now locked in. Because Carapaz is a better climber than everyone behind him, by far.
Yes. Alpe d'Huez.
Oh, points you said, but yeah, Pedersen's got 32 points on Philipsen. That's not insurmountable, but yes, tomorrow's stage up the Wes 128 Ks. We start with two climbs of Cat 2, 4 Ks, 7.5% to start. Bit of a valley. And then the Col du Noyer, it's all coming back to Carapaz stage 17 that he won in 2024 because that was on the Col du Noyer, I think. Or maybe was that in there? 7.3 Ks, 8.4%, Cat 1. Then a long valley, and then the Col d'Ornon, 5.5 Ks, 6.3%, and then a descent, and then up the Wes 14 Ks, 8%. I would have said this is Pogačar, absolutely locked in. Up the Wes record, breakaway's got no chance before the race, but his whole team's getting dropped in break formation.
Yeah. After Grosjean is going to be the only one left after Col du Noyer together with Del Toro and maybe Polit, but on paper, Polit drops on that climb and gets back in the valley.
Yeah.
That's the normal.
We have to wait for him for the valley because you can't ask Grosjean to pull there.
Nah, you can't. And Wellens has not been good, especially today. Yates was looking better today than yesterday, though. So that is a bit of hope, I think, for the team, but that doesn't help you in the valley. So they're really missing Wellens at his best to control the stage.
He was 2 minutes inside the time cut today.
Oh. Even if he gets better to the point that Yates got better between yesterday and today, you're still dropping in break formation, you know? So
yeah, we don't expect his Col du Pre pull tomorrow before La Plagne.
By the way, Col du Noyer was indeed in that stage win of Carapaz. So
thank you very much.
Congrats.
Straight
but
match. Lovely.
I agree. I normally would have said easily, Pogačar wins. Now I would say Pogačar wins if two things could lead to it. Break formation is super long.
Yep.
Or Red Bull bought a Hansgrohe pace on this stage to try and win the stage with Remco, or just give it a go. Which normally I'd say don't do that, don't help your opponent in Tadej Pogačar. But I wouldn't mind because they should be thinking the race outside of Pogačar's existence.
So yeah, you put the stage win in play and then you go defensive mode on the climb.
Well, unless you feel really fucking good.
But that's how you do it. You put the stage win in play and then see if Poggy tries to do the Soleil Del Toro thing again and try to win like that. That could be the play. I think Remco could have won today, by the way.
Okay.
But they didn't listen to me. I think break formation takes a long time. That's why I think Poggy's still got a good chance because these teams just, someone always misses it. And if they miss it, it just takes forever. And then, you know, if it goes on the climb, you need really good rouleurs in that break because it's 50, 60 Ks then to the base of the next climb. And you have to basically smash it in that valley to get margin because if Poggy is in top form, he's taken 4 minutes on you on Alpe d'Huez. So you need 4 minutes plus at the base.
Only the top level breakaway climber like a Carapaz can handle within that 4 minutes. And even if it's not the best Tadej Pogačar, he still will take a lot of time on you. So depending on whether #poopgate is true or not, are we making that a thing?
I mean, it is curious.
My winner for the stage is Tadej Pogačar.
Because indeed, you know, the day after, I'm not going Pogačar. I think Pogačar takes matters into his own hands on the Galibier-Seren combo. I think he's going to pretend that the Seren is Grenol and he's going to have a beef with Vingegaard, who's not even here, to try to win on that stage. Because the Telegraph Galibier combo was where he got rolled by Roglic and Vingegaard in 22. So he'll win that stage just solo. I think tomorrow Break's got a chance. I'm going to go with the Eagle of Durango.
With Sepkus?
Yeah.
I like the pick. I'm staying with Teddy Pikachu.
Fair enough. Carapaz. Will Carapaz be allowed in the break?
He's going to have to forget.
This is why Jordan Gigat's correct, right? Carapaz is going to try getting the break again to win the stage. VPP and Quickstep won't like that.
That's fine. They'll join the breakaway.
Pidcock and Q365 will no longer be okay with it anymore.
That's fine. Let them join the breakaway.
Nah. Lenny will not allow it.
Who is going to control them? UAE Team Emirates right now?
Trek?
Trek's going to try and get in the breakaway with Mess Pedersen.
Nah, he ain't making it. Pedersen,
He will try.
He ain't making it.
We both know he will try.
The funniest thing tomorrow will be when Simmons has made the break, a nice break tomorrow. It's going, and then on the 2.7K, 6% kicker, 52Ks into the stage, Pedersen launches from the peloton across and restarts break formation. It will happen.
For me, it's as simple as I don't think anyone can control that break formation.
Fair enough. It's uphill.
If anything, this could be the break formation where Tadej Pogačar has to do a lot of work himself again.
Yeah,
it's like a few times already in this race.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's see if the Alpe d'Huez record can get broken tomorrow, or if we have black bib shorts on show. We'll see. What do you think, Sykes v Del Toro?
Ooh. It's a very fun dilemma because on one end you've got Del Toro, who could be the first Mexican rider to podium the Tour de France after being the first Mexican rider to podium the Giro. In their history, I think Raul Alcala was the first rider to win one or maybe even two stage wins at the Tour de France. I think he won the white jersey in 1987 ahead of Erik Breukink, if my memory serves me right. If we then think on the other side of the coin, you've got Paul Sixas, who can win a podium spot at the Tour de France on the age of 19 years old, as the youngest rider to compete in this race since what, 1937, 1935? So I've put my stats hat on, Patrick. Are you impressed?
I don't know any of these stats.
And comparing those two exact scenarios, a Mexican podium candidate would be massive for the country of Mexico, and I'd be super excited to see it for that sake. I do think a lot of people would be more intrigued with the idea of Del Toro on the podium if he didn't ride for UAE Team Emirates. But that's an obvious take, you know?
Yeah.
Because being part of the team of the favorite changes things in terms of fandom. On the other side of the coin...
And also begging the yellow jersey not to drop him.
I think I want Paul Sixas to not podium for the sole reason, Patrick. Sole reason that you in December said Paul Sixas will podium the Tour de France, and I called you crazy.
Yeah, you were like, maybe top 10.
Hey, the podium is technically top 10?
Exactly. I think Sykes' podium would be nicer, yeah, but we'll see.
I think both is fine. I don't really care, to be honest.
We'll see.
I just want it to be close.
I want to battle for it. I want
Yeah.
I want Decathlon to throw some haymakers this weekend. So let's see.
What if we're closing off too early, Patrick? What if Shock arrives on stage 20 and Jordan Giga goes in the breakaway taking 9 minutes?
Free Schelmoser.
I don't think he's good enough to podium this race.
Yeah.
Because he'll always play from GC group, you know, and it's 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Alrighty. Alpe d'Huez tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the recap. Go check out Core's offer through the link down below, and we'll see what happens with the podium, I think. Until then, ciao, ciao.